Daddy was suspicious why I was filming in his house. I haven't told him I'm making a movie about him. What?
I think he figured it out.
Well, fuck.
Don't worry about it, Beezer.
I know, but my teacher was telling me to, like, make a more honest and, like, brutal movie about him, and I don't want to do that. I'm, like, sick of attacking him. I feel like I've spent, like, a very significant amount of time hating him. I don't hate him, and I don't want to make a movie about being angry at him. I just don't want to be angry at him. I mean, maybe I am, but I don't want to be. My father is an architect. He draws with neat, precise angles. He uses mechanical pencils. When I was a little girl, I loved to look at his drafting board. I thought the blueprints for bigger bathrooms and second stories looked like secret maps to palaces and castles. My father has big hands. They are clean. They look like mine. My hands look like my father's. My father used to read to me. I fit perfectly in his cross-legged lap. My favorite book was Machines at Work. When he read about the tractors and the trucks, he would make the engine sounds and bounce me. I always laughed. This is one of my mother's favorite stories. I filmed the tractors that line the sides of the highway near the place I live now. They remind me of my father. For as long as I can remember, the shelves of his bookcase have been lined with brightly colored models of old-fashioned tractors and machinery. They remind me of the photos of him when he was a little boy, blonde and always smiling. I think of them as something he would have liked. I drove home to film my father, or maybe just to look at him. I went to his apartment. There were no model tractors on the bookcase or anywhere else. When I asked, he told me that he'd put them away. A while ago, he said. I realized then how long it had been since I'd last been to my father's house. I'm struck by how dark it is, that every framed photograph is of me. My father lines his walls with my face, and I cannot remember the last time I was there to see them. There are no recent pictures. I haven't given him any. In most of my father's photographs, I am young, baby-toothed, obsessed with horses. Sometimes on the weekends, he would drive me out to a stable in Toro Canyon and carry me in his arms so that I can catch my fingers in their tangled manes and feed them small clumps of alfalfa that have fallen on the ground. My father loved to do things that made me happy. A painting of a butterfly that I made in the 5th grade hangs next to his bathroom mirror. It's been there since I gave it to him one Christmas, 1999. I wonder if he still looks at it or if it's become part of the wall, familiar. My mother loved my art. She begged to keep my paintings and portraits and papier-mâché creations, but I offered them up, always, to my father, the artist, like eager virgin sacrifices to some forgotten deity. He was never effusive with his praise, but I am a puppy at the dinner table around him, sitting pretty, always attentive, eyes peeled for stray crumbs of approval like little accidents. Before the dark apartment, I am 6 or 7, and my father and his girlfriend live at a house on Orchard Avenue. There is a giant oak tree in the front yard, and they hang a white hammock from it that summer. I spend 3 nights a week there. I have my own room. They get me a kitten. He is small and black. My father's girlfriend has blonde curly hair and wears red lipstick. Her name is Christina. Christina takes me to pick out the cat. She asks what kind I want. I say, I want a white one. I say, I want a girl. With Christina, things never seem to work out the way I want them to. They're fighting in their room some night. I'm bored. I want someone to play with me, and I also want my father and Christina to stop fighting because I like it when people are happy. My mother never yells. I have a lucky penny that I found in the parking lot of a grocery store. I've been carrying it in my pocket. This is one of my most embarrassing memories. On a Post-it note, I write a message for Christina. telling her that this is my lucky penny, that I hope it makes her feel better. It was difficult to slide the Post-it under their door with the penny on top of it. The adhesive on the paper picks up dust from the hardwood floors and the edges start to curl. I am making more noise than I realize because the voices stop. I am on my hands and knees in front of the door when she opens it, and I am unprepared for how angry she is. She screams at me for spying on them, and I run, and I hide, and I probably cry. One night after dinner, I ask my father who his favorite of the two of us is. I have a loose tooth that I twist with my tongue while I watch him glance back and forth between Christina and I. He tells me he doesn't have a favorite. This is not the answer that I have been looking for. I worry the last fraying wisps of gum that the tooth clings to. But who do you love the most? I ask him. He looks at her, then at me. I don't love either of you the most. I love you differently. The tooth dangles by a thread.
You're not doing that. You are not doing that. Why are you doing? Oh, is that like your? Oh, God. Let's finish this.
I know.